Hello. So yes, I'm Julie Warner from Warner Recruitment. So good to see so many of you on here, so many familiar names. So thank you very much for attending. Today's presentation is about, I guess, my journey on LinkedIn, a little bit about my experience as a recruitment consultant and the sales training that I've had, and then how I have used that sales training and translated into putting posts onto LinkedIn. So when I set up Warner Recruitment in June last year, I had 2,000 followers. I started to post content on LinkedIn from September after launching my business. I didn't do it sooner because of restricted covenants reasons. So from September through to now, I've grown my following by 4,000 followers. So I'm now up to 6,000 followers. And my posts get on average about 100 likes per post. So over to my presentation. So yeah, the agenda for my presentation today, I've put a little picture of my husband and I going to Blackpool this time last year. Well, yeah, it was February last year, just before all lockdown. And there we are, set, ready, makeup, hair done, and yes, ready to go. So yeah, I thought I'd set the scene here as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about me, Julie Warner. A little bit about my LinkedIn statistics to date, my sales experience, and then how I've used that sales experience and translated that into marketing content. I'll run you through some of my LinkedIn content, and then I'll give some hints and tips on how to improve your LinkedIn, making your profile appeal to your audience, profiles to connect with. So I'll pop some profiles within this at the end of people that I enjoy following. So suggest you follow too if you're not already. I have a favour to ask of you at the end as well. So yes, just wanted to show you a little bit more about me. So here we go. So for me, I graduated in 2005 in dance and business studies. Yes, that really is a thing. You can join any BA honours together. I guess that perhaps shows a little bit of my split personality in that, I love dancing, but I was quite pragmatic in that I knew that my career wouldn't be in dance. So hence the business studies. I then went into telesales, and I've really enjoyed watching some of the content about what schools are teaching these days about careers that people can go into, because I had no idea, and it was my dad that said, I think you'll be good in sales. So yeah, the sales career began. Then I joined Reed, and I was at Reed for 8 years, and then I joined Robert Half. Yes, at Reed I went through a lot of their training program, sales consultant training, management training, and NLP course. At Robert Half I was there for 6 years, and then I set up my business this time last year. So yes, there's the proof. I've got 6,000 followers. I actually, when I advertised the course, I said I had 6,000 followers. I didn't. I had 5,500, but I was determined to have 6,000 by today. As you can see from the little red circle in the bottom there, I achieved that last weekend. So thank you very much to everyone that's following me. And maybe that's the sales consultant in me setting myself targets all the time. So yeah, this is what my LinkedIn profile looked like from on over the weekend. So over the last 90 days, I've had 4,146 people view my profile. That particular post that I'd put out at the time had 679 views. That I think the statistics show you the last post that you've put out, and I've appeared in 572 searches. I've put a little comparison in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. That's someone who's currently got 500 followers. They put fairly regular content on LinkedIn, usually corporate content, but I just thought it might be a snapshot of maybe where your LinkedIn perhaps looks like at the moment. And I'm going to share some hints and tips about how maybe if yours looks more like the bottom right hand one, how you can look more like the left hand side statistics. So I kind of wanted to give you a bit of a flavour of my background as a recruitment consultant. It's a very sales driven role. So these were my day-to-day targets. Unless you'd hit these, you hadn't had a successful day. So 50 sales calls to clients that potentially would buy from you, so need a temp or a permanent recruitment person. 50 calls to candidates, 5 client meetings a week, 5 to 10 interviews with candidates per week, take 4 jobs and 3 fill jobs. 3 jobs. Tongue tie. I'd usually hit my targets, and for me, I thought, why do I hit my targets? Like, have a think. And I try and put myself into the shoes of my candidates and clients. So I'm kind of saying on LinkedIn, put yourself in the shoes of the people that are following your content. There'll be people on there that, in, from my perspective, are clients. So may buy from me, may need a temp. There'll be candidates on there. So people that are looking for work, and there'll just be people that are generally following you. But yeah, put yourself in the shoes of your audience. So I would generally manage to get my candidates, so sorry, linking it back to my day-to-day job as a recruitment consultant. If I'd arranged an interview with a candidate, they would generally turn up. I certainly would see with a lot of new consultants that their candidates that they'd booked meetings with wouldn't turn up. So it's worth thinking about why that was. For me, I think that candidates knew that if they met with me, I would find them a job. But that's my job to convince them of that on that very small introduction phone call. And I guess that's very similar to your LinkedIn content. Again, with a client, so if I made that phone call to a client to book a meeting with them, obviously that's time they're taking out of their day. They've got targets of their own or deadlines. To take time out of their day, I need to add some value. And clients, I would always over exceed actually my client meetings. I love them. But I think that they felt that I would add value to them so that when they had that panic of I need someone like yesterday, they would bear me in mind. So yeah, just trying to think when you're posting online, are you adding value, and why would people come to you? So yes, I appreciate this presentation is about me and my journey, but just to give you an idea of sales, it's not about you. So that kind of 1980s style of selling, people see it straight through it now. So yes, 1980s style of selling is dead. Most people know that you've got a target, but that should not be your why. So they shouldn't feel, your customers shouldn't feel that you are contacting them on LinkedIn because you've got a target to hit. It should be because you're adding value to them. People buy from people. So certainly, if you put yourself in a position where you're out of the shops, gosh, can you cast your memory back to 2019 when that was real? But when you go to the shops and you're speaking to a salesperson, you're much more likely to buy from a salesperson that you like, whether that be in a shop or business to business. Again, think about why your customers use you. You must add value, certainly on LinkedIn. Motivation, yeah. What's your motivation putting out your content? Think about it before you post it. It's not about you. I put my post on there with me holding medals. So yes, that certainly photo is all about me. I kind of thought maybe if I saw a dance teacher with all those medals, it would be an advantage to me to use them to go to their classes, because they might teach me how to get those medals myself. If that person just kept saying how wonderful they are and how they achieved it, I might get a little bit sick about hearing how wonderful they are. So I want to think more about how that person can help me. So yeah, again, put yourself into your customer's shoes. So your customers want to be guided. They want to know your knowledge and how that's going to help them. So I certainly thought about that again before I was posting my LinkedIn content. So yeah, don't, I just again on that 1980s thing, don't tell me what I want. I want you to to listen to me and guide me through um, how to come to the end conclusion about what I want to buy. Again, your customers can see if you're doing your job because you've got a target to hit, or if you love what you do. So make sure, certainly again on LinkedIn, that it shows that you love what you do. And they come to you because what you offer, they can't do themselves, or they don't want to do themselves. So going to putting the information on LinkedIn, I was thinking, who is going to be following my LinkedIn content? I started putting LinkedIn content out in September. So no one was recruiting back in September of 2020. Most people were really worried. So even people that were employed were thinking, am I still going to have a job? So my marketing had always been done for me, being part of Reed and Robert Half, large corporate organisations. So yes, these kind of images, I guess, were things that were springing to mind of people that were looking for jobs, worried about their search. So yeah, for me to put out there saying, I've got a wonderful credit controller or purchase ledger clerk, who's recruiting? No one. No one. Listen to the market, listen to what's going on at the time. So I clearly needed to launch my business. So that was my first post. I went very corporate for my first post. I wanted to show that I wasn't a bedroom business. So I had professional photo shoot done, and yeah, I was absolutely astonished by the amount of following that had. 353 likes, 127 comments, and over 30,000 views. So yeah, thank you to anyone out there that was liking the fact that I'd launched my business. But yes, where do you go from there? So again, thinking about the pandemic and the situation at the time, I'd done my corporate photo. I thought, let's make this a bit more real. So there's me at my desk, and yeah, luckily I got quite a lot of following on that as well, just short of the 30,000 followers, 300 likes and 31 comments. I deliberately left my shoes off. I thought it would be weird to put on a pair of heels stood at my desk, my home office. So yeah, the bare feet it was, and I guess I'm still wearing a blouse, but I do tend to do that still for video interviews. So yeah, be thankful as well. I think I put on there, thank you to everyone that had liked. Yeah, be real with my shoes off. LinkedIn's changed. So in 2019, I think a lot of the time we saw people saying, like, don't put this on LinkedIn, it's for Facebook. Facebook and LinkedIn, people are quite happy to see more real content these days. So yeah, make it real, be you, and don't worry about having a corporate image all the time. Yeah, be personal. So the next one, I wanted to bring my partners along with me. As I said, I didn't want people to think I had a bedroom business. So I thought I invested in the best technology for the CRM, so my customer relation management system. Bullhorn is one of the best systems within the recruitment market. It's quite expensive, but I love it. So I wanted to show to my market that I'm not just using an Excel spreadsheet to keep people's data. I'm using one of the best systems in the market. It's secure for candidates' data, and yes, it's a brilliant way of holding clients' information. So by bringing my partners along with me, not only for me did that elevate my platform in that, wow, you've got the best tool, but also it brought Bullhorn along with me. And actually, some people now mention, so when was that? I think that was sort of September, October time. Yeah, probably September. They still say, I remember your first post about Bullhorn. So this is kind of, for me, the post that's started making it more real. Yeah, my hair's scraped back in a ponytail. I'm not wearing a suit. Gosh, like the thought of putting something on LinkedIn in 2019 without a suit, yeah, it just didn't happen. But yeah, people really seem to like this one. So yeah, setting out my stall, complimenting my partners, or yeah, keeping it real. So right, over to the next. Then I wanted to do my background. That's really been a bit of a topic of conversation. Some of you that have been following my LinkedIn content have perhaps seen that. So I wanted to have the Franklin's Garden sign behind me, and yeah, in the process bought some Northampton Saints shirts. So I think a lot of people enjoy seeing me in some of my Northampton Saints photos. And I wanted, for me, my business is local. So by putting this up, it shows that I support the local business, and perhaps got common ground with some of my candidates and clients. In sales calls, so yeah, still make sales calls. Some of my customers were concerned about my insurances. So yeah, allow your conversations that you have each week to naturally generate your LinkedIn content. So for me at the time, it was, "Hey, gosh, do you have the insurance? You know, if one of your temps comes here and deletes some of our data, how's are you covered?" Yes, I am. I've got one of the best insurances in the market. I researched, I joined up to, so if anyone is a recruitment consultant on here and you're, or a small recruitment agency, I'm sure you've heard of APSCO. APSCO were brilliant for me. So as far as their little black book, and they recommended Lockton, the insurance company, on there. And so I went with them, and I put on a post saying that, yeah, proud to announce that I'm insured with Lockton. Um, so yes, so are you, as a small business, do you have insurance? Yes, I do. And I had a phone call about 2 weeks later from Stuart over at Lockton saying, "Thank you ever so much for your post. That actually generated 5 new inquiries for me." So I'm thinking, oh, going back to my point, this isn't just about you, it's about other people as well. So, you bring those people along in your journey. So yeah, not quite so many views on that one, but I guess we're being a bit more specific now in my posts. Um, I did a presentation on the 30th of October, so put it on. You're doing something for other people. And I actually really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, my last point on there, have fun, enjoy it. Support local, again, Northampton. They were asked me to do a presentation. I said yes. So and it created LinkedIn content, and I enjoyed doing it. Yeah, we'll never have the time to do things. We're always busy, but try and find time. That presentation was at 7 o'clock in the evening, so it didn't impact too much in my working day. And yeah, 10,000 views on that one, 153 likes. So yeah, it's still doing pretty well. But again, we're kind of starting to hone my content now more specifically to Northamptonshire, and we're making less boom statements. So maybe that's why it's slightly less the initial one. So yeah, don't be worried if some of your posts get slightly more likes than others. Gosh, where do I begin with the Northamptonshire Chamber? There's a few of you on here actually. Um, for me, like, that's kind of where I found my tribe, to quote a term that I keep hearing. So the from the following of Northamptonshire Chamber, yeah, as I say on there, don't take yourself too seriously, but also put in posts before you're attending events. It's obvious that that's live right here, right now. This is a current photo, and your people are following you at the same time. So yeah, pop photos of you before you turn up to networking events, and tag in people. They're quite happy to be tagged. I think I quite like being tagged in some people's posts. So yeah, post for real, live. Like the Northamptonshire Chamber do silly things, like the Halloween dress up, and yeah, get yourself noticed. Promote other people. So I mentioned about tagging in. That's an opportunity. I certainly, when I see one of my followers on LinkedIn tag someone else in, I'll then follow those people, because that's someone that I like to follow. So it's probably their followers I want to follow. So yeah, do connect with as many people as you can, like others' posts. So if on LinkedIn, if you have gone on a social networking event together at the chamber, then everyone all likes each other's posts. So it just generates a bit of momentum and share. So write testimonials. Yeah, what goes around comes around. So yeah, if you promote other people's businesses, then they'll promote yours. So to my first video, gosh, heart beating at that point. I'd seen a lot of people putting out video content, and I thought, why not? Go for it. So yeah, I say to you, why not? Go for it. Just post it. I saw a lot of people putting out their first videos and apologizing and saying, oh, this is my first video, you know, hope it's okay. Nah, just chuck it in, go for it. I watched my first video back yesterday or over the weekend. I thought it was good. The first minute and a half is okay. After that, I clearly can't wait to get off the video. So I don't know if Scott Norville's on here. I mentioned you at the end. Scott is can chat, and he's very comfortable and has 5-minute conversations. I'm not. I like doing 2 minutes. So that's when the next video that I did on the right hand side there, me going the 6, did a run of 6 videos. So I got sick of my own voice after doing 2 minutes. So I stopped the video and then I gave the next hints and tips in the next video and the next hints and tips in the next video. And that gave me a run of 6. I did them all on the same night. It had energy. After 2 minutes of talking to your phone, for me, I'm like, I just can't wait to get it over with. So by putting it into bite-sized chunks, I thought the energy was higher. It gives you a chance to stop. Scott's are they blimpers? Yeah, follow Scott Norville. He does once a month of with his moments where he has stopped talking. We all have them. They're all on my camera feed as well. And then you can stop the video and you just go blah, 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 blah. Just give yourself a moment, breathe, and then start again. And then just make different topics. Also, the brilliant thing about that is you've got 6 videos. So all this turn up for your video content or on LinkedIn, you've got a backlog. You've got stock of 5-6 videos, and I've been on quite a few Clubhouse rooms, and that does seem to be the trick. When you're in the mood, especially at the moment, when you've got your hair and makeup done, do 5 photos just in you and I don't know, at your desk in different positions, whatever. But yeah, if you're in the mood and you're doing the content, then do a few things. But that, for me, every morning that week I posted a video interview hint and tip. Obviously, video hint and tip number 1 had more likes than video hint and tip number 6, but that's going to happen if you put the same stuff out. By the time you've put the same video out 6 times, you're going to have less people following it. It's just the way it is, but at least you're still turning up. So yeah, I've done about 30 videos since then, so it works. And your customers start to see you, decide whether they like you, whether they want to work with you before they've even met you. Them building an opinion. And I think I mentioned when we were chatting with Richard earlier about Hannah Brady. I saw some of her LinkedIn content before I started putting my videos up, and I thought, oh, I quite like her. And then I realised that she was in Northampton. And I thought, that's nice. And then we've now met and went for a walk for a coffee the other day, and we share hints and tips and stuff like that. But yeah, I decided I liked her before I'd met her, and I think she felt the same about me, hopefully. So yeah, it definitely makes your sales calls more warm. I know that when people put information on social media like Instagram and Facebook, I don't know if you found this, but when you go to the office the next day, they kind of expect that you've seen it. And actually, it's kind of almost the same on LinkedIn. You expect that people have seen your following. I've seen you on here, Adam Kaplan, with your crazy hair. And he put a post up yesterday, day before, with his crazy lockdown hair, phase 2. There was a phase 1 in first lockdown. But everyone's seen it. And I think Adam would expect that everyone's seen it. So when I'm making sales calls, a lot of my customers have already seen that I exist and I'm real. Right. So I just thought I'd show you some of my content, there's a huge variety of things. So from serious stuff through to less serious stuff. Some of my most liked content has been me sat at my desk. So the one in the top left, I was arranging interviews at 10 o'clock at night. I thought, why not put a quick social media post? I'm dedicated. I'm at my desk at 10 o'clock at night. What's that say on there? 21,000 views. Go figure. Me after 2 dance classes online, sweaty in my dance kit, arranging interviews. Another one, 7 o'clock at night, in the first week in January. What's that one? 142 likes, 4,000 views. Yeah, just post. Try not to think too hard about it. I put one on there where I compiled all of my hints and tips. So that with me kick back at my screen, I put all my hints and tips on a YouTube channel because I started to find it was too difficult for people to find my hints and tips on my LinkedIn feed. Not everyone had LinkedIn. Also with some of the schools that were asking for hints and tips, actually schools don't have access to LinkedIn. So yeah, I popped them all on there. So that's part of my favour that I need to ask you at the end. Please follow me. But I'll ask you that again at the end. And then just some silly things like dancing. If you've got a hobby, I've seen some people putting up things with golf, their golf swings and things like that. It's fun. It's like none of us are really doing a lot at the moment. I think a lot more people are spending more time on LinkedIn. So yeah, go crazy. Press ups on my birthday, 190 likes. Little Christmas jive. Don't do crazy things all the time, but it just kind of creates a bit of a mix, and I think people start seeing a bit more of your personality. Um, so the one on the right, I think that was probably my most liked post ever. Um, Me doing a silly, yes, dancing, Julie. um, yeah, I'd seen it as a slogan, when you sort of see fridge magnets and things like that. And I think I'd seen a few slogans going around on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram about buying from a small business, and someone somewhere does a little dance. So I thought, let's do a little dance, because I think I'd made a placement, and yeah, I was just super happy. So I put a little dance on around Christmas time, and that went for weeks with people liking that. So thank you. um, and then there's some of my content here. Again, I was talking about the background. So I'd put in the Franklin's Garden sign, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little picture of the market square behind me. So I'd started sort of building up a few Northampton or NN postcode, and I thought, do you know what we have a lot of here in Northampton? Trucks. So lorries, logistics. So that generated quite a lot of energy, saying that I'd like to put a truck in my background. I guess I could have gone on to Amazon, but it just felt a bit flat, kind of buying just a truck that didn't mean anything. So I thought, let's see how this goes. So I said, is any of the logistics companies out there got a toy truck that I could put in my background? Um, so then I posted the first one to get a truck to me was Reeford's Transport, and that got 263 likes. So yeah, that was, and actually a lot of people joined in with that. It became a topic of conversation over at like the Northamptonshire Chamber, and then a lady who just followed me on, so Nikki Pipping, and she said, oh, my son's had some trucks. You can see one of them, DHL behind me. And she gave me like the DHL, but also Christian Salverson. And I put that one as a separate post, because Christian Salverson is like, oh gosh, I think I have to try and test my memory about the dates on it, but I think that was a 1980s logo that they had. They're now XPO, but putting up that, and I said, does anyone remember Christian Salverson, Northamptonshire business? And that post went for weeks and weeks with ex Christian Salverson employees putting uh, like their experience of that they loved working at Christian Salverson, their pictures of trucks that they collected themselves. So yeah, it became a bit of a chat board, or conversations were happening with ex-colleagues on there. So if you can facilitate something like that, that was so wonderful to be part of. And then I sneakily became part of ACS. They were doing computers. So that picture of me holding an old computer. that they were providing computers to schools. So I thought I'll put on a post. So I said to my dad, I was like, "You got an old laptop?" And he was like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "Can I have it?" So I put on a post saying that I'd given my dad's laptop to ACS. And hopefully off the back of that, some other people donated. But yeah, I just, if I see something that I like, I jump on it and share the posts. And then I was commissioned by Silverstone to recruit for them Silverstone Experience Museum over in Silverstone Circuit. So yes, as we come out of lockdown, they will be open. But yeah, that was nice to be able to be part of promoting that business, along with telling them about a vacancy that I was recruiting for. So they trusted me to put a post up. They didn't ask to check before I put the post. They just liked my content on LinkedIn and said, "Will you advertise this job for us?" So yeah, these are kind of some of my more successful posts. So my less successful posts, I was sat at my kitchen table, top right hand one, and I just had my lunch and I'd brought my laptop down with me, and I was sat there and I was working, and I sat there for like half an hour working at the kitchen table, and I just laughed at myself. I thought, what do you look like? I was on a high stool, and so I just thought, I'm having a laugh at myself. I'll put myself on LinkedIn. That wasn't so well liked on LinkedIn, but it was on Instagram. So there's a different place for different social media posts. So to quote Hannah Brady said, "Don't delete anything." So I haven't deleted it. I've just left it on there. So yeah, if you put out content, just leave it on. It may be that it didn't get a lot of likes, but it's part of your journey, and it's almost like apologizing to take it off. Nothing to apologise for, just leave it on there. So yes, I mentioned Tom Pace earlier over at Able Print. He printed some Valentine's Day cards for me very quickly. So 63 likes, 64. Not a huge liking, but for him, he got a phone call off the back of my post asking for quite a large order from someone on my LinkedIn page. So yeah, never underestimate what positive effect your posts have on other businesses. So I don't know how successful the swim fin one's been. What's that? 76 likes. So that was under 100. Just me playing around. It was one of those posts that everyone just saw and laughed at. So yeah, just go with it. My Easter one and my Christmas one, they don't get as many likes. It's quite corporate, but I like putting them out there, so I don't have any regrets for putting them out. Just, yeah, put your corporate stuff up from time to time. And then the other one there, 83, it's quite a lot of likes, but I was advertising someone else's clubhouse room when he was doing a live music room. So if something resonates with you, like live music, I love it. I miss it. So yeah, I just wanted to celebrate that someone else was doing something. So that post was really hard to that pose was really hard to hold as well. So I was gutted that didn't get over 100 likes. People like my press ups more than my dance poses, but hey. Again, no regrets, just post, go for it. So yeah, share the love on LinkedIn. If you're nervous about posting, guess what? Everyone's nervous about posting. I post all the time. I'm still nervous. I like you put your post out there and you're like, please, someone like it, someone like it. And then so you run around your friends, your family, say, please like my post, please like my post. There's an algorithm that within the first hour, if you've got if your post is picking up traction in the first hour, it will circulate for longer. So yeah, tell your friends, your family, your colleagues to like your post initially. It's that heartbeating moment. So yeah, like other people's content. It's like it's rude not to. Be polite, like other people's content, they'll like yours. So yeah, like others' content, share others' content. If a post reads to you, share it. I said about the ACS with their computers, I was resharing all sorts of stuff for that. The chap who was doing Mark Deeks, who did his live room on Clubhouse, I was sharing all his content. And guess what? These people will share back to you. So do it. Be kind. Yeah, they're likely to do the same with yours. treat others how you want to be treated. Yeah, be nice. Others, yeah, and generate your tribe. So who's prepared to share your content, whoever that might be, through networking, colleagues. Yeah, for me, candidates, clients. Yeah, just share the love. Things to think about when you post. Address the message in person. I'm not sure how I feel about saying hi LinkedIn. For me, receiving that message, I'm not LinkedIn, I'm Julie. So when you say hi LinkedIn, like, that doesn't resonate with me. I'm not LinkedIn. Or hi everyone. I just think say hi, and then I think you're talking to me. There's some people that put content out there. Hannah, I'm going to mention you again. When she does posts, I feel like she's talking to me. There was Louise Gordon as well. She did a lovely post, and I felt she was chatting to me. So yeah, make your audience think that you're talking to them. If you put them in a group that they don't associate with, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan personally. Be useful. So that's what I've tried to do with my hints and tips, giving useful information, and be thankful. If people follow your stuff, like, thank them. They don't have to do that. They've taken their time. Again, time, it is time consuming, but if you want to do it, you'll find the time. I actually really enjoy posting on social media. I just have a laugh. Like, I laugh at myself. Don't take yourself too seriously. Like me in my skeleton outfits and my Christmas things, and just, like, yeah, go for it. Anyone that puts out content, I think they'll tell you the same. Just go for it. Tips for your next post. So yeah, like others' posts. Comment 7 words. I'd never heard this before. Hannah Brady, I'll tell you to follow her. She puts out hints and tips. She says if you comment on someone's content and it's less than 7 words, it doesn't pick up on the algorithm that you've properly connected with that post. So if you're going to make the effort to comment on someone's post, try doing 7 words. It'll help them. Share others' posts. Use hashtags. I always use the hashtag Warner Recruitment. If I'm honest, just because it makes it easier for me to search my own posts. When you're posting a lot on LinkedIn, when you're going through your posts, gosh, when I was going through my posts for this presentation, it took me ages going back through my feed. So if you're using a hashtag, it does help to club all your posts together. But also it picks up the algorithms. So like, I always use the hashtag this is Northants, partly because Sunny Singh is always so appreciative. So Sunny Singh over at Northamptonshire Chamber, I'd like to think he's part of my tribe. I hope he thinks that. But he is always thankful of me using hashtag this is Northants. It's a tag made by the Northants Chamber. So he will always like and share anything that you put on this is Northants. Not always share, but does sometimes share. But I've been told to try and use hashtags that are more relevant. So try not to go with hashtags that are too big. I think it was love was one of the ones that had the highest, like that's in the top 3 hashtags. If your post isn't big enough or your following's not big enough to support one of the largest hashtags, I've been told not to use those so much. I don't worry too much about it. I just whack a load of hashtags in and hope that it'll go further. But I think it does help with the algorithms and posting your things further, but try not to think too much about it. I just always put hashtags with Northamptonshire in because that's the audience that I want. Tag people in. Again, I don't think people mind if it's relevant. Richard, I've always been tagging Richard into my posts about this, and I don't think he minds. Yeah, if it helps your post travel further, if you do it to people, expect they'll do it back, and I think that's fine. If you're trying to tag someone in, I didn't know this, but if you put the @ symbol before their name, that's how the link happens. So yeah, if you put an @ symbol before the person's name or before the company name, that's when it will pull through. So you can click that and that creates the link. Just some things to be aware of. I do these right now whilst you're thinking about it. Feel free if you've got two screens, or if you don't need to see me. So you can come off the screen for a sec. You will have in the top right hand corner a pencil. Make sure that you've got a background image. Make sure you have a picture. You will not have as much following if you don't have a picture. Some people perhaps got their LinkedIn profiles on private, so you can't see the pictures straight away. I'd recommend, if you're prepared for people to see your pictures, try not to hide those. I don't know how you do that, but someone the other day, I thought, oh, that's strange. They're a recruitment consultant. They don't have a picture. But actually, as soon as I accepted her, the picture appeared. So yeah, I would avoid putting your profiles as private, especially if you're trying to grow your LinkedIn. Then when you click the little arrow, so the second one down, that one gives you your contact details. Make sure that's what contact details you want people to see. Sometimes you may have set your LinkedIn years and years ago, and it's your Hotmail. You don't want stuff going to your Hotmail if it's work related. I don't really check mine, so yeah, make sure it's your work one. Yeah, you can link it to your Twitter, your phone number. Just make sure all of your contact details are correct, especially if your customers are on LinkedIn. If someone's active on LinkedIn, I expect their contact details to be correct so that I can contact them if I want their product. It's weird otherwise. And then in the headline, you can put whatever you like in your headline. Oh, clicked. The Make sure that it appeals to your audience. A lot of people put help. I don't know. I don't know if that's overused now. Just be, say what you are, what you do. So for me, I help. So mine says recruitment director at Warner Recruitment. I don't necessarily have to write that, but that's what I've chosen to do. In Northamptonshire, accounting and finance, temporary and permanent. And then I've put some of the qualifications just because that will resonate with accountants. You can put some of your favourite posts on the top. On the featured posts part, you can tag some of your more recent posts up there. I'd recommend doing it, no harm in not. So yeah, edit job title, make sure you've done that, and make sure you've got a picture, featured posts, correct contact details, headline, eye contacting, eye catching, sorry. So I just thought, as far as thinking about your profile picture, most of you that are connected with me on LinkedIn will see on the right hand side, that's the one I use. The one on the bottom I thought was a bit too corporate. I thought I look a little bit, I don't know, smouldering maybe. So I wanted candidates and clients to feel that I was approachable. So that's why I didn't use the one on the bottom, even though it's perhaps a touch more corporate. I think in the times that we're in, people are resonating more with likable faces. So the chap on the bottom left, I quite liked that one. I thought he looks nice, smiley, relaxed. It's a professional photograph. It can be professional or not. For those professional photographers out there, I'm sure they'd appreciate your business for professional photographs. So yeah, if you can, go for it. Don't put your picture up sideways. I've seen it several times. You laugh, but I've seen it. Put your picture up the right way around. Don't just think, oh, it doesn't matter. It does. That's your initial introduction. Try and have your photos straight to the screen. Eyes is so important. If you've got a shadow, I told a finance director the other day, he had a shadow on his face. You might be on this call, and I said put something up that you can see your eyes, because he was saying he wasn't getting much traction from his job search. So I just said, if you could see your eyes, it'll engage your audience more. So avoid sideways photos with shadows. Also avoid shots with holding wine glasses, beer glasses. I don't know. I just avoid that moment of judgment. So yeah, just keep it. I don't know. For me, I still keep the profile picture fairly professional. Yeah, make yourself approachable. Promote today's, yes. Just one of the things I thought that is worth mentioning is today's event. Some of you might have seen that I initially posted it just with my professional photo, and that got about 20 likes. I then posted a video basically saying the same thing, telling you about my event, and I had over 100 likes on that one. So yeah, it's just something to bear in mind. Okay, so oh, feel like I've missed a slide. Have I? No, there it is. Sorry. Okay, active people on LinkedIn I think you should follow. Grant Phillips, he's recently set up a cleaning business and regularly puts posts of him cleaning, and they get stacks of likes, so go for it. He put up quite an interesting post the other day about cleaning in a theatre. I liked it, so yeah, follow. And you'll notice, oh, I'll go back a couple of screens. You can change your URL. Edit public URL, top right hand corner, change your URL. You'll notice all these guys that are active on LinkedIn have all changed their URLs at the end. So they have got URLs that are relevant to them, not like 1234859 random letters. So you can change that URL. Kevin Rogers is always posting things to do with work and not work related. He shares other people's posts, likes other people's things. So yeah, follow him. Robin Allen, she goes crazy on TikTok. I've done a few TikToks myself, and yeah, but she's the pro. So yeah, watch Robin Allen if you're not already. Scott Norville, I mentioned him. He does like his 5-minute chats. 5 minutes? I don't know. How's the longest that you can have on a LinkedIn video? He's certainly maxed it out. So yeah, watch some of his content as well. He keeps it real, says it as it is. Francesca, if you're not following her, she's an accountant who set up her own accountancy practice, and yeah, she's nuts. She just puts anything up there, and she told me she's got 28,000 followers. So yeah, she does something right. She gets business off the back of it as well. You may like it, you may hate it, but watch it. And Grant McKenna, I was having a chuckle with him on LinkedIn messages yesterday. He's very opinionated. Your style, find it. There is no right or wrong. Just it'll help you find your tribe. So I am no social media expert. This is just my journey, what's worked for me. If you want a social media expert, I recommend these two people. Dave, I think you're on the call now. So if anyone calls Dave, he will know what you're chatting about if you talk to him now. So he helps with your social media content, helping advise what's good to put up, and whether that's on LinkedIn, Facebook. Hannah, she's also on the marketing side. She puts stacks of interesting information on LinkedIn about what to post, what not to post. She put one up today about don't be too salesy in your approach. I don't know how many of you connect with people and then get, hi, nice to meet you. I'm going to sell you something now. She hates that. So she'll give you some hints and tips on a marketing plan. So yeah, certainly connect with both of those people, and yeah, they'd be very, very happy to help, I am sure. So yeah, stand out. I put my thing on here about the lady in the red dress. If any of you remember The Matrix, everyone turns and looks. So yeah, be you. Mum, you're on the call. You'll laugh at this one. My nan used to say, I met a girl like you who's just today who was just like you. She used to say it all the time. I'm thinking, I don't know anyone just like me. I'd like to think I'm individual, and hopefully you all think the same. You're individual. There's no one quite like you, and you've got your friends, your tribe, and they're friends with you because they like you. So they'll, not everyone that likes me will like you, and not everyone that likes you will like me. So we're all different. So just say what you've got to say. I went on quite a few training courses before I set up my business. And one of the messages that I heard that made me think about the content that I put out is you could put okay posts out, you could put just corporate posts, and 100% of the people on LinkedIn will think you're okay. That's it. Okay. You could put out your opinion, and 50% of the followers or 50% of your audience on LinkedIn think, I love that. And 50% of the people might think, I hate that. I completely disagree with you. But the 50% of the people that love that content that you put out, they'll call you because you stick in their mind, and they're likely to buy from you. So go for it. Just be you. Show up regularly, and speak to someone like Dave, who'll tell you how to show up and help manage that process for you. Yeah, use real photos, use professional photos. There's a place for it, but also use real ones. People expect to see both. And yeah, don't be afraid to have an opinion. You see mine today. Gosh, get off my soapbox. Yeah, the last thing, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So go for it. I've filled 5 jobs purely off the back of LinkedIn. So I've taken and filled 5 jobs, and I took another job yesterday just from my LinkedIn followers. So yeah, it's another marketing tool. There's no way with picking up the phone call and sending out emails that you could reach the amount of people that you can reach on LinkedIn. So yeah, go crazy. So yeah, thank you very much. If you're not following me on LinkedIn, I'm sure you are, but if you're not, then yeah, please do follow. And then the final thing, please, can you subscribe to my YouTube channel? I mentioned in the previous slide that to change your URL on LinkedIn, you can just do it. On YouTube, you have to have 100 followers to change the URL. So I'm so sorry, it's just numbers and letters. You'll probably find your LinkedIn URL looks like this if you haven't already changed it. I'll put a post up on LinkedIn with my YouTube, just in case, because that's a long number to write down. So that yes, you can, if you can follow that, subscribe. I still need to find over 40 subscribers. So if you could subscribe to that, I can change my URL, please. Anyway, thank you very, very much for listening. I really, really appreciate it.
Brilliant, Julie. Brilliant.
Thank you.
There's so much in there, so many tips and so many great comments. If you want to have a look through the chat, Julie, just to scroll through, I mean, there's really positive.
Sorry, I'm not good at doing 2 things at once.
No,
so
that's
thank you.
fine. But there's so much positivity in there. You'll be loving it after you've read it all.
Thank you.
I think I had that Christian Salverson truck as well when I was a kid. That looked very familiar.
Brilliant. Oh, you should have posted.
I think I've got a rusty version of it. A couple of questions. So Chris asked, do you use specific software equipment to shoot your videos, and do you edit any of them down?
Software. So I literally just use the video on my phone. Hang on, I'll show you. It seems like a complete vanity thing, right? But selfie stick, and like yeah, everyone laughs at someone with a selfie stick, but like if you're putting out content, you need it. So yeah, it's a little tripod, big or a small angle. It just frees you up to not have to hold the phone. So that works quite well if I'm doing photographs at my desk. I also have a tripod because I don't think the selfie stick extends far enough. But yeah, literally just the video content on your phone, and then I use mixed captions to do the words. I hadn't even thought about it, but the reason I started to do it is because actually a lot of video content that I watch whilst I'm cleaning my teeth, so I can't hear what people are saying. So I presumed most people do the same thing, so that's why I did the or maybe they can't listen at that moment. So that's why I started to do the words. But actually, not everyone can hear. You know, I had a chap who's deaf, and he was like, "You put the words on your post last week, and you didn't do it today. Can you do it? Because I don't know what you've said." So yeah, make it accessible. Mixed captions, the one I use. You have to check what it's put because sometimes if you say something quickly, which I do sometimes, that it doesn't always pick it up. So you just need to run through it. But you can also put emojis in. I don't know if any of you have noticed. I put a few emojis in the text. So that's quite good fun.
You've created demand now for these videos. You're going to be getting suggestions next.
Welcomed, all welcomed.
And Julie asks, any recommendations in terms of how much you should post each week? Can you overdo it, underdo it?
Good question. Yeah, follow Dave, and because Dave does his lunch and learn, that's really useful to go on. Next one, Dave, you might want to put in the chat if you're still here the link and the date on that. I think it's the 25th. It's usually around the 25th. It's the same day as the FSB event. So Dave's at 12 and then FSB later, or is it the other way around? Anyway, same day. Remind me of the question, how often?
Yeah.
Sometimes people say every day. Sometimes I do every day. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll put 3 things up in a day. Just once a day is brilliant. If you've got enough, sorry, quote my friend Hannah Brady again. She says that if you've got something to say, put it up. If you don't have something to say, don't post that day. If you can every day, brilliant. If you can't, don't worry about it. I think Scott Norville said he was posting every day and found it exhausting, so he's gone to once a month now. And once a week, and then his team put things up as well.
Okay. Brilliant. Compared to say Reed, then how does their social media compare to your social media?
I have no idea. I'm not their target audience, I don't think. So I think that if you've got a marketing department, they know where your audience is. So for like we used to have quite often meetings with the marketing team, and they come down and we go, oh, we never see what you put out. And they go, well, you're not our target audience. you're not an accountant. Why would we post it to you? So I don't really know. I guess their content is sophisticated, that it goes to their content goes to the people that it's of interest to. If you're a small business, you've just got to find your own like tribe following. So I don't really know. I mean, they did those adverts, didn't they? TV adverts. That's too big for a little company like me. But whereas you've got a platform like LinkedIn, go for it. It's free.
Next year, Julie. Next year.
Do
you actively connect to join groups to build your numbers up to 6,000?
I have connected to groups. It wasn't necessarily a strategy. I just kind of follow my people's content that I find interesting, and then if they ask me to link with their business, then I'll do that. I am a member of groups. Sometimes go through phases of looking at that. Haven't thought about that for a little while, but I am a member of some groups that are relevant to my industry, or the people that I look for jobs for.
Scott's asked when you're going to post your blooper reel.
Mine's really boring compared to his. His is hilarious. Maybe you need to tell me what software you use, Scott.
Yeah, there's so many comments on there. Not so many questions. I think that's all the specific questions, but yeah, loads of comments, really positive feedback. I think there's some, great stuff on there. So we're going to, we'll post this video next week onto our YouTube channel, and we'll share that with everyone today. I think we're pretty much it now for the time. All the numbers, people who joined today, Judy, stayed on. There was no drop off, so that's always
I did look. I thought, oh, make sure that I was on point with what people were interested in. So yeah, thank you all for staying for the whole lot. I really appreciate it.
It's always a good sign. So yeah, just again, thanks very much for giving it your time. I know you put loads of effort into creating that, and it was really beneficial. And for all the attendees, thanks for signing up and coming today. Please keep an eye out for future Digital Northampton events. Not everything we do will be signposted by Julie, so you'll have to follow our stuff. If you follow Digital Northampton on LinkedIn, we're mainly on Twitter. If you look at our website, digitalnorthampton.com. But if you can save the date for June the 18th, that's our big all-day virtual event coming up. That's Merge Futures 3. We'll be launching the website next week for that, and there's lots of presenters, information there, different technology. We've got people from Voy and the Starship e-commerce robots coming to that to talk about future plans for Northampton. Sally Wood from the FSB will be holding a business breakfast networking event there, and lots of local companies as well talking about what they're doing. So plenty of innovation to show. So yeah, brilliant. That's it. Thanks very much, Julie, and we'll hopefully see you all next time.
Thank you. And did you say